dash curriculum design increases the relevance of the curriculum and allows students to be creative and innovate as they are learning. Dash curriculum design increases the relevance of the curriculum and allows students to be creative and innovate as they are learning. Allows to do.
Smart move. Problem-centered is an accurate answer.
It is different from other models in that selection of learning experiences comes before selection of content. It specifically gears the content in the curriculum to learners, where most models follow the opposite structure. What model is this? Excellent choice. Wheeler model is the right answer. In Malaysia, the curriculum often addresses concerns related to multiculturalism and multilingualism due to the diverse cultural and linguistic backgrounds of students. This reflects which stakeholders influence. Solid response. Local communities is a valid choice. The enacted curriculum refers to dash. It reflects the daily curricular experience of a student within instructional settings, exemplified by assignments, instructional practices, and dash content. You're right. Instructions managed is the correct answer. Who among the following defined curriculum is as a tool in the hands of the artist to mold his material according to his ideals in his studio? Right again. Cunningham is a valid answer. What foundation of curriculum advocates or reflects a particular school and its officials that influences its goals, aims, and content as well as the organization of its curriculum? Well done. Philosophical foundation is the right choice. Steps or stages in curriculum development are almost similar to Tyler's model. The main difference is in the need to carry out a dash in Taba's model. Great job. Diagnosis of needs is the accurate answer. Scholars and members of learned societies make pronouncements. What ought to be included in curriculum is which level of curriculum decision-making. Right choice. Academic is the best answer. The consideration of inclusive education practices and support for students with disabilities in the curriculum aligns with the concerns of. Well-reasoned. Special education schools is the correct choice. Curriculum can be defined as a plan for achieving goals. The plan involves a sequence of steps: purpose, design, implementation, and dash. Correct. Assessment is the right answer. Core curriculum is an example of a subject-centered design which can be standardized across schools, states, and the country as a whole. On track. Core curriculum is the correct answer. Dash is a periodic assessment and adjustment during the tryout period of a curriculum. It determines how the curriculum is working. Excellent. Monitoring is a brilliant choice. Curriculum content influences learner goals, standards for academic achievement with an underlying influence of the nation's economy. Perfect. Economy is the correct choice. What foundation of curriculum discusses the relationship between the school and society and its influence in curriculum decisions? You got it. Your choice socio-cultural foundation is right. In the Malaysian context, which stakeholder is primarily responsible for shaping the national curriculum and educational policies? Strong choice. Ministry of Education is the right answer.
what are the curriculum foundations? Smart pick. Philosophical, historical, psychological, social is the correct choice.
The Dash curriculum refers to what is not taught but actually should be taught in school according to the needs of society. Well picked. Null is the correct answer. Dash affects curriculum development from defining goals, interpreting curricular material to approving examination systems.
Correct response. Politics is the most accurate answer.
Which Malaysian stakeholder group is likely to emphasize the inclusion of Islamic education and values in the curriculum?
Bravo. Religious institutions is the answer.
A curriculum that includes financial literacy and entrepreneurship education is often influenced by which type of force?
Nicely done. Economic force is a solid answer.
Which of the following helps to determine the driving purpose of education is the important foundation of curriculum?
Good job. Your answer philosophy works well here. What is the purpose of the curriculum in spelling, grammar, and other subjects that result in objective performance?
Clear logic, your choice, to aim at the best types of performance is sound and 100% true. Learner-centered curriculum design is meant to empower learners and allow them to shape their education through Dash. Sharp thinking. Choices is the right choice. The term Dash describes how the process of curriculum planning is done instead of suggesting how it should be done. Nice work. You chose naturalistic and it is correct. In most Caribbean territories, curriculum development is centralized because the focus of control is with the
Exactly. Ministry of Education makes sense, and it is right choice.
What foundation of curriculum reflects the educational focus prevalent during a particular period or event? Great thinking. Historical foundation is the right choice. Which body was responsible for setting up curriculum development centers at both national and state levels? Nice selection. Nigerian Education Research and Development Council is the correct and valid answer.
A curriculum designed to promote civic education and active citizenship aligns with which type of force?
You chose political force, and it is correct. According to common beliefs about curriculum and instruction, what is the relationship between the two? Valid point. They are interlocking and interdependent is true. What is the key feature of concentric models in understanding the curriculum instruction relationship? Good thinking. Mutual dependence between curriculum and instruction is the right answer. Which of the following is an example of a political force that can influence curriculum construction? A. Good thinking. Government policies and regulations is the right answer.
Direct, a 15-year-old student, drinks, smokes, and attends wild parties. He is influenced most by the
Perfect. The informal curriculum is the correct choice. The curriculum that includes the activities accommodated in the regular hours of school is called
Smart pick. Formal is the correct choice.
in terms of components. Which of the following would be listed first in a curriculum guide? Nice selection. Behavioral objectives is the correct and valid answer.
Which of the following agency publishes all the curriculum frameworks at national levels?
Bravo, insert is the answer.
4 national curriculum frameworks have been released in the years dash, respectively.
Clear logic. Your choice 1975, 1988, 2000, 2005 is sound and 100% true.
The important reason for providing curriculum studies to trainers is to enable them to
Great job. Interpret the curriculum properly is the accurate answer.
Henry Morrison and William Harris were the firm believers of which curriculum design? Zun. Strong choice. Subject-centered curriculum is the right answer. Curriculum is a blueprint of the school activities that includes experiences for the. You got it? Your choice learners is right.
Under which phases of curriculum development does setting goals and objectives fall?
Correct response. Planning is the most accurate answer. A curriculum is the sum total of a school's activities which influence the child's. You chose behavior, and it is correct. An outline of the topics of a subject to the covered in specific time is called on track. Syllabus is the correct answer.
Biblically, a more formal system of education and curriculum was established dash.
Well done. In the Garden of Eden is the right choice. What was a significant challenge in developing a uniform curriculum for Nigeria? Great thinking. Multicultural and multi-ethnic diversity in the society is the right choice. Social and emotional learning in the curriculum focuses on developing dash. Smart move. Emotional intelligence and resilience is an accurate answer. Which of the following is an essential part of curriculum designing process? Good job. Your answer objectives, content and activities works well here.
Who among the following gave the grassroots level of curriculum development?
You're right. Hilda Taba is the correct answer.
In the mutual adaptation approach, curriculum adjustments are made through.
Excellent choice. Negotiation and flexibility between planners and implementers is the right answer. 5 stages of awareness, interest, evaluation, trial, and adoption are 4. Right again. Curriculum change is a valid answer. What was the purpose of the National Policy on Education published in 1977? Well picked. To establish a uniform system structure of education throughout Nigeria is the correct answer.
Which of the following terms best describes what the curriculum should be?
Nicely done. Dynamic is a solid answer. What is the role of the curriculum in developing critical thinking skills?
Sharp thinking. To foster analytical and problem-solving abilities is the right choice.
Authentic learning experiences in the curriculum are characterized by dash.
Solid response. Real-world relevance is a valid choice.
What foundation of curriculum is a unifying element of learning process? Well reasoned. Psychological foundation is the correct choice.
Economic forces that influence curriculum construction often relate to.
Correct. Availability of financial resources and funding is the right answer.
In the context of curriculum studies, social forces primarily refer to.
Excellent. Cultural and societal values and expectations is a brilliant choice.
Global and cultural competence in the curriculum aims to foster dash. Right choice. Understanding and empathy for different cultures is the best answer.
Curriculum dash provides visual diagrams or indexes of a curriculum. Nice work. You chose mapping and it is correct.
What is the major obstacle in setting objectives for social studies?
Exactly. Lack of agreement on what constitutes social deficiency makes sense, and it is right choice.
Means of curriculum transaction in classroom situation depend upon. Valid point. Learners' participation is true. Curriculum is derived from the Latin word currere, which refers to right again. Running a course is a valid answer. Less often identified participant in the curriculum development is smart pick. Religious groups is the correct choice. What is the significance of scientific method in curriculum making? Or excellent. To discover the objectives of education through systematic analysis is a brilliant choice. How many national curriculum frameworks have been released so far? Sharp thinking. 4 is the right choice. When did the National Curriculum Conference take place in Nigeria? You're right. September 17th, 1969 is the correct answer. The forces that affect the development of curriculum are called. Great job. Foundations of curriculum is the accurate answer. Who edited the 6th edition of the Curriculum Studies? Reader. Right choice. David J. Flinders and Stephen J. Thornton is the best answer. Hilda Taba's model of curriculum development is also known as. You got it? Your choice grassroots model is right. John Dewey was the firm believer of which curriculum design? Valid point. Learner-centered curriculum is true. What is the primary focus of modern curriculum development? Correct. Student-centered learning is the right answer. Interdisciplinary learning in the curriculum aims to dash. Well done. Integrate various disciplines is the right choice. What is the purpose of including arts in the curriculum? On track. To foster creativity and self-expression is the correct answer. Which of the following is not an element of a curriculum? Perfect. Recall is the correct choice. What is the meaning of the Latin word curriculum? Smart move. All of the above is an accurate answer. Effectiveness of curriculum is determined by. Well picked. Evaluation is the correct answer. The key role of a national curriculum is. Good job. Your answer to ensure uniformity of experiences in schools works well here. 3 major sources of curriculum are. Correct response. Eternal and divine sources, the society and psychology is the most accurate answer. How you will get all these quiz questions in PDF books format? Or solid response. Contact Narayan Changda is a valid choice.